Hi. While many students are starting their college education this year, I want to make a very few brief comments about the quality of education and where you get it. Years ago, I was bemoaning the fact that I was going to a state university to the head of the department that I was getting a degree in. And he said, Nancy, a person can get a bad education at Harvard or a good education at a small state school. The type of education you get is dependent on the student, not the university. And I always was very grateful to hear that because I had been given a full ride at Harvard. I just couldn't get there from Texas. So, could have gone to Harvard, went to a state school, got a great education because it was me getting the education. Now, some rich kid, son of a rich kid, son of a rich kid, could go to an Ivy League school, and his parents could pay 60 grand or more a year, and he could get a bad education. I knew a guy who had an MBA from Harvard, and he was, not a business person at all. He spent his life drinking and drugging and doing criminal activities. So it had nothing to do with where he went to school. It had to do with him. Uh, I was talking to a fellow who had gone to an Ivy League school, and he was a rich kid, son of a rich kid, son of a rich kid. The If you look at the universities that his father and grandfather and so forth went to, it looks like a tirade of extremely wealthy, high dollar, high tuition schools. And he said, he was talking about someone who grew up in a small town and went to a small high school and college. And he said, a lot of that person's cohorts became thugs. And I said, well, I happen to know that person, and a lot of that person's cohorts in high school and college became police officers. And he said, yeah, well, hence the thugs. I went, whoa, that was a strange thing to say. Gave me pause because he was actually in law enforcement, and you'd think he would know. And he said, and I said, but considering you went to an Ivy League university, a lot of your uh, college colleagues became thugs. He said, what do you mean? I said, if you could sit around and look at the people you graduated with when you got your bachelor's degree, a lot of them became unscrupulous business people or attorneys who would do the wrong thing instead of the right thing, or politicians who would take bribes instead of look after the interests of the citizenry. A lot of your colleagues in college became thugs. It's just that they wear suits and carry briefcases and appear to have wealth and fame and power. And he just got the weirdest look. And it was a few weeks later that he said, incidentally, about the thug thing, was one of the truest things anyone has ever said to me in my entire life. And he said, I will never criticize the college you went to again. Sayonara.